Seabird 198, one localizer established, descend our left.
1 localizer, descend our left,
Seabird 198, could you give me a wind check, please?
Showing 240.
Hello guys, good evening. My name is Martin Ryder, captain on the flight, return flight to Dubai. It's a pleasure to welcome you on board our Airbus A330-900, and I hope you enjoy your flight tonight. Thank you very much. So, aircraft type, we have a Airbus A330-900, tail strike awareness.
Check.
And we have a valid database in the box. Yeah, the weather is checked. We have some thunderstorms in the southwest which will not affect us since we're going out runway 03. Runway is damped to wet. Our calculation is wet. We are on the safe side. Birds always in the vicinity. In the night we cannot do too much. OABs are checked. There's just one. NOTAMs are checked. MEL and CDL items, there aren't any. Yeah, takeoff configuration config 2, everything is calculated and double checked. It will be a flex takeoff. Pucks are off as usual, and anti-ice is not required, but radar is. We will switch it on once we leave the apron. And before takeoff run, we check again the weather on our on runway heading and on our turn to the left. So, in case of any malfunction before we run, I call stop or go. If the call is stop, we will stop the aircraft on the runway. You will observe spoilers deceleration. Once the parking brake is set, I inform the cabin and you inform ATC.
Roger.
If the call is go or the failure occurs after we run, we continue. It will be straight ahead. Runway heading departure. No actions before passing 400 feet, and aircraft is under my control, and then we continue on our procedures. For the engine out, we accelerate at 1520 feet.
Roger.
We make up our mind and return. If there's immediate return required, everything is going to the northwest of the field and we are over the water.
Roger.
So, engine out, we discussed it. Thrust reduction is standard 1000 and 3000 above elevation. Takeoff alternate is not required. Taxi is very easy here. It's just a parallel taxi towards runway 03. The departure is cross-checked, and flight plan is also checked. LOSCOM, nothing very special, and that's it. Do you have any questions, suggestions?
No questions, just the Echo file says the lights are not working properly, so we just follow ATC instruction.
Okay, we will.
That's the only thing.
Taxi. In case any doubts, we stop the aircraft and
check.
Double check. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So before start, checklist, please.
Before start, checklist. And cockpit preparation.
Is completed.
Completed. Gear pins and covers.
Removed.
Signs.
On an auto.
ADRs.
Enough.
And the fuel quantity.
Yeah, we have 64,160 and it's almost balanced.
And takeoff data.
So is set.
Barrel F.
1010.
1010 set. Before start checklist, down to the line.
Thank you very much.
Selamat datang tuan-tuan dan puan-puan, selamat pagi para tetamu. Selamat datang ke penerbangan di Raja Brunei BI 007 ke Dubai. Nama saya Jian, Kapten Anda dari Italy. Penerbangan hari ini akan mengambil masa selama 8 jam 25 minit. Dan semoga Anda terhibur bersama di Raja Brunei. Terima kasih.
Gentlemen, good evening from Flight Tech again. My name is Martin Ryder. I'm the other captain on your flight to Dubai, and I like to welcome you on board our Airbus A390 service on behalf of Royal Brunei Airlines and Highfly again on English. So we are 45 minutes ahead of schedule. But yeah, as soon as we get ready and all doors are closed, we we'll set off. We have a quite long flight time today. It's 8 hours 24 minutes. That's due to a quite strong headwind, so could be nice if we can leave a little bit ahead of schedule here. So we're expecting on-time departure at the moment. Anyway, it's a pleasure having you with us. We wish you a nice flight and a pleasant stay. Thanks for your attention. So, nav?
Checked.
Continue checklist, please.
Okay, so resume checklist, and these few ADRs. Nav, you said fuel quantity.
Yeah, 63,840.
And takeoff data?
Set.
And bar ref?
1009 are set.
1009 is set. Before start checklist down to the line.
We were cleared for...
Nothing.
Delivery is Brunei
Cockpit.
007 is fully ready for push start.
Go ahead.
007, stand by for pushback and start. You'll be clear for pushback once the Airbus is ready for taxi. Brunei 007, pushback and start approved, face south, 03.
Push start approved, facing south, runway 03, Brunei 007.
Windows and doors closed, and the beacon, thrust levers, parking brake, and before start checklist completed.
Ground cockpit?
Alright, go ahead.
Yeah, we have start and push clearance facing south.
Facing south, copy, and you may release the parking brakes.
Parking brake is released.
Brunei 6905, clearance available.
Brunei 695, go ahead please.
And commencing pushback to
Brunei
face south.
6905, you clear to narrator via mic 646, ground flight level 130, request of a change en route, squawk 2015.
Please advise where we can start the engines.
Please stand by for it.
Brunei 6905, clear to reach Mike 646, flight level 130, request level change en route, squawk 2015.
Brunei
Okay, ground
6905,
topic, you are
clearance
clear to start.
6 hour 118.7,
Okay, confirm area number 1 is clear.
18.7, Brunei 695, good night.
Clear number 1.
Okay, starting number 1.
Copy.
Start number 1.
Check.
And 1.
Thank you. Ground confirm clear number 2.
Clear number 2.
Starting number 2.
Okay, pushback completed. You may set the parking brakes.
Parking brake is set, and we have 2 good engine starts. You can remove all equipment. Prepare car for taxi, please, and signals, I guess, on the left-hand side.
Copy that. disconnecting. Signal you on your left hand side and non disconnecting. Have a safe flight, bye.
Stand by short for the objects.
So it's 1645.
And we are off blocks 1645. Yeah,
After start checklist. And anti-ice.
Off.
ECAM status.
Checked.
And pitch trim.
2.8 up.
29.3 is checked, and rudder trim.
Is 0.
And after start checklist is complete.
Flight controls.
Full up. Full down. Neutral. Full left. Full right. Full left. Full right. Neutral. Taxi.
Yes, please.
And ground Brunei 007, request taxi.
Brunei 007, taxi holding point Echo 5, runway 03.
Taxi holding point Echo 5, runway 03, Brunei 007. Right is clear.
Brakes.
And pressure is 0. Let me see what we have around. Cabin is ready. And Brunei 007, we are ready to copy the clearance.
Brunei 007, roger clearance. You cleared to Dubai via Mike 768, climb flight level 140. Request level change en route. Airborne left and direct Dogok, squawk 2007.
Understood, we are clear to destination Dubai via Mike 768, climb initially flight level 140, squawk 2007, Brunei 007.
Brunei 007, clearance Dubai, correct. Tick tower 118.7, good night.
118.7, good night, Brunei 007.
What was the first point?
There's no first point, is via Mike 768. Did you get the first point?
Yeah, I thought you said something direct.
Let me ask again. Brunei, good evening, this is Brunei 007.
Brunei 007, Brunei Tower, good morning, country taxi holding point Echo 5.
Yeah, continue to holding point Echo 5, just verify the clearance for us, so we are clear to destination via Mike 768 to a specific point.
The clearance is to route via Mike 768, level 140, and left turn after departure, direct Dogok.
Okay, left turn after departure, direct to Dogok, clear to destination via Mike 768. Terima kasih, Brunei 007.
Okay, then.
Okay.
Brunei 007, advise fully ready for departure.
Roger, welcome. Okay, so clearance confirmation is Mike 768, left turn to Dogok after departure, flight level 140, squawk 2007.
And before takeoff checklist, please.
Before takeoff checklist. Okay, before takeoff checklist is fly controls.
Checked.
Checked. Flight instruments.
Checked.
Checked. Briefing.
Is confirmed.
And flap setting.
Config 2.
And config 2. V1, VR, V2, flex temperature.
152, 153, 157 and flex 51.
So 152 wet, 153, 157, flex 51 and ATC.
Set.
And take ECAM memo.
Takeoff no blue.
Before takeoff checklist, down to the line.
Checked. Yeah.
Cabin is ready.
Fully ready.
Fully ready. And the Brunei 007, we are fully ready once reached Echo 5.
Brunei 007, disregard the red starboard lights, wind is light and variable, runway 03, you clear for takeoff, left turn, direct Dogok.
Roger, disregard the starboard lights and we're clear for line up and takeoff, runway 03, Brunei 007.
Brunei 007.
Yeah, approaching runway 03, below the line.
Roger.
Cabin crew, take your seat for takeoff.
Disregard the stop bar light. And below the line, takeoff runway.
03 confirmed.
Runway 03 is confirmed. The cabin crew,
Is advised.
TICAS
Tara,
and PAX.
off.
Before takeoff checklist is completed, you may continue. Line
Can
up.
you confirm again?
Brunei 007, confirm we are clear for line up and takeoff. Disregard stop bar lights.
That is correct, sir.
Roger.
Just to make sure. Okay, approach sector is clear.
And the final is clear, and we are clear for line up and takeoff. If you want to check the weather, let's see. Looks okay. You have something west of Dogog, or the rest is clear.
Okay, then you're ready
Check.
for rolling takeoff?
Check. You have 11 knots, eh?
Yeah, it's okay. Ready for
Ready.
takeoff? So takeoff. Flex 51, SAS runway, autothrust blue.
Check. Thrust set. $100 knots.
Checked.
Rotate. Pausing climb.
Gear up.
Gear up.
Nav.
Check.
Yeah, when passing 500, set direct Dogo, please.
Roger. Direct to Dogog. Dogog confirm.
.007, contact radar 1271.
127.1, Brunei 007.
Thrust line.
Checked.
Radar, very good afternoon. This is Brunei 007. It's passing 1,800, climbing flight level 140, inbound to Dogo.
Brunei 007, Brunei radar, good morning. Identified climb flight level 140, direct Dogo.
Continue climb is clear, Brunei 007.
Brunei 007.
And AP1, please.
AP on.
AP1.
Check.
Looks okay. You have something west of Dogo.
Okay, then you're ready for rolling takeoff?
Check. You have 11 knots, eh?
Yeah, it's ready for takeoff? So takeoff.
contact radar 1271.
127.1, 007.
First line.
Check. Radar, very good afternoon. This is Brunei 007. It's passing 1,800, climbing fighter 140, inbound to Dogo.
Brunei 007, Brunei radar, good morning. Identify climb flight level 140, direct takeoff.
Check land is clear for 007.
Climb.
Check.
And flaps 1, please.
Speed check, flaps 1.
Yeah, after takeoff and climb checklist, please.
So after takeoff, climb checklist, landing gear.
Is up.
Flaps.
Intact.
Packs.
On.
After takeoff, climb checklist down to the line.
Thank you.
Brunei 007, contact Kinabalu now 126.1, good night.
126.1, Brunei 007, jumpa lagi.
Jumpa lagi insyaAllah.
Flight level 280 or above.
Roger, climb flight level 300 to cross Azizu 280 or above, Brunei 007.
I'll start.
Check.
And alt.
Check.
Yeah.
And ATC message, reminder, maintaining flight level 300. Send, confirm.
Yes. Confirmed.
Let me request higher.
Yeah. If possible, 380, yes.
Alright, ATC, request climb to flight level 30. Send, confirm.
Yes.
ATC message, unable due to traffic. Close, confirm.
Yeah, copy, confirmed, close.
Well. Alright. ATC message, climb to reach flight level 340 by Akamon, report maintaining 240. Wilco, confirm.
Confirm.
Send, confirm.
Confirm. So, and 340 blue.
Check. New cruise altitude.
Climb. Checked.
Check. New cruise clear. And close confirm.
Yes, confirm. Akbon, yeah?
Akbon.
So guys, finally we've reached our cruising flight level 380. Our departure was almost exactly what we were expecting on our briefing. So we took off runway 03, that's towards the northeast, and we were allowed to turn left immediately after takeoff towards our first waypoint. Only problem was we weren't allowed to climb to our desired flight level straight away due to crossing traffic. So we had to maintain flight level 340 for a while. We don't appreciate that very much because of course we're burning much more fuel, so it's a matter of fuel saving to climb directly to the desired level, and also it's a matter of passenger comfort because we get clear of the weather if we are cruising in our higher flight level. Yeah, and after we crossed the traffic we were allowed.
Some check, I'm reading 3800.
Okay, I have it all. Control your communication. Ho Chi Minh control until Sapen, then is Phnom Penh. See, almost perfect. 5, 5 and 10.
Okay guys, to show you our routing tonight on our iPad. It's the airport of Brunei where we took off in north-easterly direction with an early left turn around about 90 degrees. We set our heading towards Vietnam. And this is Ho Chi Minh City, which we passed already. From there we entered the airspace of Cambodia, and a few minutes ago we just passed Phnom Penh, which you can see here, with a heading towards the Thai airspace already. After entering, we're expecting direct to Bangkok, and from there with a little left turn, almost a westerly heading, we will enter the airspace of Myanmar, and thereafter we go to Kolkata, to Chennai, Indian airspace already. After that, Mumbai, and finally Muscat before we enter the airspace of UAE already in the descent towards our destination. That's it. Remaining flight time now it's a bit less than 7 hours. Okay guys, just to keep you in the loop, we are just arriving at the east coast of India. We're in the Indian airspace already with Chennai radio. In about 10 minutes from now on we will be able to climb to flight level 400, so we'll make a request. That's due to our, we left some weight due to burning the fuel, and optimum flight level now 2,000 feet higher, so we'll ask for that to save some of fuel on our way. Okay, from here, as I said, airspace of Chennai, we will later on enter Mumbai, and the remaining flight time is 4 hours and 30 minutes.
So Martin, you have control, you have communication. Hello everyone, welcome back. You might remember me from the first flight when we were heading to Brunei. Now we're going back to Dubai. We can recap a bit the differences between the A330NEO and the A330 Classic. So last time I remember we saw the fuel system. I mentioned the fuel tank inerting system, which is reducing the oxygen in the center tank. What I didn't mention is that all the NEO are equipped with the center tank, okay, differently from the 330-200, 300, and so this is another feature, quite convenient. And the last main difference I can mention is that there is no fuel gravity filling on the upper wing of the aircraft, and this is pretty much all about the fuel system. And regarding the engine system that we have partially displayed in here, I have mentioned already the enhanced stall recovery logic, which this aircraft has. And what I didn't mention is that the FADEC has been furtherly enhanced itself, and has this thrust control malfunction accommodation, which basically allows the FADEC to maintain the engine power within limits when the normal controls are not operational, and once we land and the aircraft is on ground and the engines are at idle, the engine will shut down automatically. Differently from the Airbus 330, we don't have ignition. We cannot select ignition continuous. So what we usually do, for example, contaminated runways, departure, or bad weather on the normal Airbus 330, in here is totally useless, because the aircraft is already, the Rolls-Royce engine actually, is already providing its self-protection with a continuous ignition. We mentioned about this attention getting box, which appears during the engine start, and it appears during the some failures. As we said, Airbus doesn't have much fantasy, so it's a box designed to get your attention, and it's called attention getting box. And the last thing of difference, this is more related to the engine, is that we have a 5 minutes warm-up period and a 5 minutes cool down period. Of course, if you come to the gate and you need to shut down the engine, you will shut down the engine for operational purposes. But generally speaking, for a long-term life of the engines, you'd rather keep your 5 minutes cool down period. We can mention the flight control laws, which actually has been enhanced in quite an interesting way. You might remember that the Airbus, generally speaking, has 3 flight modes, which is ground, flight, and a flare. The NEO has been enhanced, and on the pitch mode has 4 modes, okay, which is ground, rotation, flight, and flare. Now, If we refer to the books, this is the FCOM for this specific aircraft, which is Charlie Sierra Tango Yankee. You may see that you still have 3 low. However, on the pitch control, there is a new rotation mode which starts some 2 seconds after the aircraft crosses the 70 knots and ends up 10 seconds after the aircraft pitch goes through the 8 degrees altitude. So this rotation mode basically has been designed to minimize the risk of tail strike for every weight, CG, center of gravity position, and configuration. So this, as we said at the beginning, the Airbus A330NEO is long, is like the 300, and this feature actually enables minimize the risks of tail strike. If we go and refer to the flight control laws for the normal Airbus 330, you may remember that you have just the ground, flight, and flare mode, so only the 3 of them. So we mentioned about the dimensions and of the Airbus 330-900. So the length is as long as the 330-300, so we're talking about 64 meters, just about, while the wingspan is larger, is the same as the 800, and is about, again, 64 meters. Now, the bank clearance is slightly less than the Airbus 330 Classical. However, for consistency, Airbus has maintained the same pilot monitor callout of bank to be called at 7 degrees. Okay, so that's a good thing for us pilots. The weights, since we're talking about dimensions, the weights are higher. The aircraft is able to bring more. Interesting that we have a dynamic zero fuel weight which goes between 177 and 181, and so goes the maximum takeoff weight. Of course, if the zero fuel weight goes up, the maximum takeoff weight will go down. But this is, for regulatory purposes, better, because as a matter of fact, they can play and they can save money in terms of taxes and so. Alright, so let's talk about the glare shield. The glare shield is the part of the cockpit where the flight control unit is contained and where you can actually give input for the autopilot to execute. So starting from right to left, the system is designed in a way to make it as instinctive as possible. What I mean is that, for example, see in here you have just a little box which as a matter is kind of defining a space which is related to altitude, for example. Okay, and as a matter of fact, this side will be representing the first primary flight display, so the screen on the right, while this side will be referring to the navigation display. So whatever is in this part is represented on the primary flight display and vice versa. This is the presentation of the flight directors. This is the landing system which we use for approach, and this is the setting of the altimeter. So basically, if you're familiar with the aviation industry, you know that we needed actually to change the altimeter setting and relate to a specific QNH value, so to a specific pressure related to the sea level. This is in order to be able to separate ourselves from all the other airplanes, because as a matter of fact, when we go to a specific airport, say Dubai, everybody will be setting the same QNH. It means that everybody will be on the same barrel pressure level and will be separated as a consequence. The second box we said is the navigation display, and here we have something which may look a bit old. This is the radio aid which are on the ground, which nowadays are not really used because the aircraft, as a matter of fact, is self-contained in terms of navigation capability. We have the GPS, we have the inertial system, so irrespective of what we have or what we don't have on the ground, we can actually navigate safely. These two knobs are just different presentation of the navigation display that we use in different phases of flight. The plan, for example, is what we use on the ground to validate the standing instrument departure, or just before descent to validate the standard arrival. In here you have a range presentation, and in here you have different functions which just display different features on the navigation display. You have the constraints, we have the airports, in this case Hyderabad, we have the non-directional beacon, something which again belongs a bit to the past. Then we go to the central part, which is the common part to the flight control unit, where starting from right to left you have a vertical speed knob with a function which allows us to push to level off. We have an approach arm push button, we have an alt push button, we have an altitude selector. You have noticed that we have a metric altitude. The metric altitude can be displayed, and it will come on the primary flight display as well. 38,000 feet is the same as 11,580 meters. This is because there are regions of the world where they still use meters instead of feet. Okay, we are talking about China, Russia, North Korea, and other places. So in that case, we will use flight levels based on meters. The central part, which again is a common part accessible by both pilots, is the autopilot control, autopilot engagement, autopilot 1, autopilot 2. We have two autopilots and two auto thrusts. Although there is only one push button, the auto thrust actually connects to the two autopilot channels. Following this will be the heading selector and the speed selector. Now, you may notice that you don't have any heading displayed on the digit, and the reason is that at this time the aircraft is managing itself the speed. What does it mean? It means that whatever we input on this MCDU, multi-control display unit, this is what actually goes into the FMGES, the Flight Management Guidance Envelope System, and this is what the aircraft is the brain of the computer. The brain of the computer is what the aircraft is going to follow. So what we actually do here is just telling what we want the autopilot to execute. The way that it is designed is this. And this is valid for all the AIRBUS. So if I want the aircraft to execute, I will tell him, you do it. So I give a movement as a push. But if I want to take control, I will pull. So in this case, as you see, I'm going back to a heading mode. It means that I'm controlling if I want to go right or left or right or left. Now, if I want the aircraft, the autopilot, to follow the managed system, I will tell you, you take it, and the aircraft will go back into managed mode. And the same is for any other mode. So if I want to take control of the speed, I'll take it, and now it comes displayed. If I want the aircraft to use the managed speed according to the company instruction, so you take it, and the aircraft goes back. The MCDU is nothing but a keyboard of a computer. So sometimes you may think that the autopilot does the job, but is a misinterpretation, because as a matter of fact, it's like if you have a computer at home and you think that the computer does the job alone. No, you need to input the job that you want through the keyboard, which is in this case is called MCDU, and then the computer will do the job. So another feature which actually is common to the last generation of AIRBUS is the SO, which stands for Air Traffic Situation Awareness, which is basically a presentation of the traffic surrounding the aircraft. Now, I have a traffic selector here, with which I can select all the aircrafts around. Now, we have one which is, let's see, it's just 2,000 feet above us. So it's a Qatar, is a QTR 995 with a presentation of the speed 440 knots, and it's a heavy aircraft. Okay, so it could be a 777, it could be a 330, it could be any other wide body. Now I can select and I can maintain this aircraft selected. Now it becomes blue, and then if I want to deselect it, I just pull. Now if in here there's a bit of a traffic jam, okay, it looks like a junction, I can actually go and see all of this traffic. TGW 734, you can check on Flight Radar 24 where it is coming from and where it is going to. This is Indigo, this is an Airbus 320 from Indigo, and then you have UAE, this is Emirates 396, as a 548 knots, and it's a heavy, and so on. So basically this system is allowing us to maintain a good situational awareness of the traffic surrounding us. And Roger, maintain A4. So this feature of the aircraft, which is common to the last generation, is actually very helpful to maintain situational awareness, and it's actually convenient because sometimes the traffic controller will tell us, do you confirm the proceeding traffic in sight? I affirm. Follow the traffic, clear to land. Okay, so this is the way, especially in busy airports, say New York or other airports where there are a lot of traffic, you may think that you have the right airplane in sight, but actually it might be a different one. So if they tell you follow Emirates and you're clear to land, off you go. Now you're able to select, and this will improve your situational awareness, thus your safety.